Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Subin Sung, and I'm here today to support Chrystia. I started to volunteer in Canadian politics because I had questions. I wanted to learn. I wanted to know how things work, and I wanted to be part of something bigger. So, my first destination was Chrystia's constituency office. That's the beautiful thing about this country and this party. There's always something to do and somewhere you could go to make a difference. And there's something valuable that I learned volunteering for Chrystia. I met a community that knew that when you want to change, you have to go and make it happen, and work tirelessly. I also learned that being a liberal isn't just about the policies we champion, it's about the values. And Chrystia was at the center of that lesson and that community. Chrystia is a leader that works tirelessly to make change happen. She wakes up, hops on her bike, and goes to work, like all of us here. Chrystia is a leader that, as a young woman entering politics, she was the first step to me witnessing women leadership, and it was the perfect first step. She's tough, and she understands the stakes. She carries herself with grace and with brilliance. And as a young person, it's crucial to witness this type of leadership. I've lived in 5 different countries, and so I know the world is facing a difficult moment right now. And Chrystia is the leader that is right to lead Canada at this time. Canada is at its best when it faces these challenges face on. And Chrystia knows that. At the same time, we need to understand that Canada needs to stay true to its values, the values that I first came to know. A country that embraces opportunity and equality. Chrystia is the best candidate to support that vision and support that view and first impression of Canada that I witnessed. I would also like to introduce somebody who also embodies that vision. The MP for Stéphane Lauzon, the caucus chair for Quebec, and MP for Argentine-La Petite Nation. Thank you.
Bonjour tout le monde, bonjour les libéraux! Nice to have you here. What a great moment. J'ai travaillé avec Chrystia Freeland pendant 9 ans. J'ai pu constater la femme qu'elle est, son intégrité, sa compétence et tout le travail qu'elle a fait, son amour pour le Québec et la langue française, mais surtout son engagement envers tous les citoyens allant de la grande ville à la ruralité et des régions rurales. Merci, Chrystia! Vous savez, les régions rurales sont le cœur battant de notre économie et de notre identité. Chrystia comprend cette réalité. Elle sait que l'avenir du Canada passe par un développement inclusif où chaque région est valorisée et soutenue. Notre pays traverse un moment crucial, comme on connaît tous. Nous devons choisir une personne qui est capable de défendre nos intérêts face aux menaces. Donc, qu'ils viennent de nos adversaires politiques ou encore de leaders étrangers comme Donald Trump, Chrystia a déjà prouvé qu'elle était capable de tenir tête à Donald Trump. She's the one we need. Contrairement aux conservateurs de Pierre Poilievre, jamais nous n'abandonnerons notre pays. Le Canada n'est pas à vendre. Canada is not for sale. And Chrystia, she's the person for that. Chrystia incarne le changement dont nous avons besoin. Elle incarne une voix forte qui parle le français et qui défend les valeurs des Canadiennes et des Canadiens. Il est temps que nous tenons debout face à la tempête et de choisir la bonne chef. C'est pourquoi je suis fier d'appuyer Chrystia Freeland comme chef et prochaine première ministre. Thank you very much. Veuillez maintenant accueillir, please welcome, my friend, my colleague, the big Mark Holland.
Merci Stéphane, merci à vous tous. C'est un grand plaisir d'être ici avec vous. C'est un moment essentiel pour notre pays. C'est un moment qui exige le meilleur de nous-mêmes. On a besoin d'unité. On a besoin d'expérience. On doit travailler ensemble plus que jamais. Et on a besoin de Chrystia Freeland. Folks, like you, I remember those dark days. I go back to 2013 when we were knocking on doors, when the cause of liberalism seemed like it might be dead. And I met Chrystia Freeland in that moment, somebody who left an exceptional career and stood up and stepped up to fight for Canada, to fight for liberalism, to fight for what she believed in. And you know, when I met Chrystia in that moment, it was a continuation of service. Whether or not it was at the Globe and Mail or the Financial Times or the Washington Post or the Economist, whether it was as a journalist or as a managing editor, Chrystia spoke truth, and she took on those that would fight against our freedoms. Do you know the kind of courage it takes as a student to take on Vladimir Putin and the KGB, to talk about what is true and what needs to change in this world. And she continued that journey as she was a part of our government. She stood up to Donald Trump. She fought for us during NAFTA. She won then. She will win again. She fought for $10 a day child care to make sure that women had access to affordable child care, and it has had a huge impact on women's participation in the workforce. She fought for critical things like dental care. Ladies and gentlemen, she has been a fighter all the way through. And you know, the KGB had a dossier on Chrystia Freeland, and they actually taught KGB agents the power of a passionate person with determination and will who is willing to speak truth. They taught them just how much to fear a person who is imbued with those factors. Well, I'll tell you, if they're still teaching that course, they better get ready to write a few new chapters. Because Chrystia is ready. She is ready to build on what we've done well. She's ready to admit what we've done wrong and what we can do better. She is ready to fight for this country. She is my friend. She is a true grit liberal who's been there with us in times thick and thin. She is going to be the next prime minister of this country, and I cannot wait to see what she does. Merci beaucoup, tout le monde. It's now my extraordinary privilege, as well as I know Chrystia, the next two people know her a lot better than I do. Ladies and gentlemen, Chrystia's children, I present Ivan and Helena.
Hello, everyone. It is so good to see you. My name is Ivan. Mark got it wrong, that's okay. I would like to present my beloved sister, Helenka, to say some words about our strong, willful mother.
Hi, everyone. My name's Helena Boley. And like you've already heard, it's my absolute privilege to call Chrystia Freeland my mom. I really do want to say personally how incredibly grateful I am to every single person here for showing up. Because, like you might imagine, when I was growing up, my mom was pretty busy. But she was never too busy for us. She somehow always managed to find the time to show up. And now Yvonne and I, we get to show up for her. And I know most of you might be thinking that the stakes right now are a little bit higher than when she came to my 6th grade play. But the great thing about my mom is she'd absolutely disagree. She would always insist that our time, our work, was every bit as important as hers. And what I really hope all of you will understand is that's not just how she feels about us, her kids, or my dad, or even her friends, a lot of whom are here to support her today. That's how she feels about every single Canadian. She never feels that she's more important than everyone else. She spends every day working incredibly, astoundingly hard. But what amazes me isn't the hard work, I've come to expect that from her, but the amazing selflessness with which she works. It is the value and care that she puts into every single person in this country that makes her do what she does. She never sees herself as being out of the ordinary. She just shows up every day for Canadians. Elle est juste présente chaque jour pour tous les Canadiens. C'est ça pourquoi je suis tellement fière d'être ici aujourd'hui et de vous présenter à ma mère, Chrystia Freeland. And that's the reason why I am so incredibly proud to be here today and to introduce you to my mother, Chrystia Freeland.
Bonjour, chers amis libéraux! Thank you so much, Subin, mon cher Stéphane, the big Mark, for your kind words. And thanks so much to all of my caucus colleagues who are joining us here in person and virtually. And to my children, Halia and Ivan, дуже дякую. I love you guys so, so much, and I'm really grateful to you. A person who is doing my kind of job, and maybe all of us, like we sometimes worry that our kids get mad at us for the work we do, so that was very nice to hear. I am so... you. I am so glad to be here at the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club today. When we are a team, we can do anything. We really can. And I'm so, so grateful to be here with such an amazing team. And I'm glad to be here today at the St. Albans Girls and Boys Club. This is a really special place in our community, and it's a really special place for me. In my office in Ottawa, I have a beautiful painting of a Canadian flag made by kids. guess some people are really scared of Canada fighting back. I guess someone really, I guess. Look, we are not going to let anyone disrupt our democracy. We definitely believe in and we need a diversity of views in our country. Now is the moment to launch a political campaign. Now is the moment. Now is the moment to stand up and fight for Canada. For our great and amazing, beautiful country, our country that needs us to be united, that needs every single person and every single supporter across the country. Important, and we are a free country. We're a free country, and one of the great things about our country is that people are free to express dissenting points of view. But what is not okay, what is not okay is to get in the way of others expressing their point of view and putting forward their position. That is not what democracy means. That is not okay. And that does not make Canada strong. There are a lot of people in this room who want to hear what I have to say. a lot of people across the country too. And I want to tell you all, I am not going to let anyone stop me from working with you. From talking with you. And from talking about how we together are going to stand up for our amazing country. We're not going to let anyone stop us, are we? No! And I think we know the harder they try to stop us, the more it means that people are afraid of us, right? The harder they try to drown out our voices, okay, so I want to hear it. Are we going to let anyone stop us? No! Are we going to let anyone drown out our voices? No! Are we going to let anyone stop us for fighting for Canada? No! And do we know that the harder they try to stop us, the more they are afraid of someone who's going to stand up for our country? People who want to stop us, but we're not going to let them. Okay, so I think we should start by being respectful to the place we are. We are here in the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club, and it is an amazing place in our community, in this neighborhood. This is such a great place for kids, and the kids here, they painted a flag for me. A Canadian flag. I keep it in my office in Ottawa. And I keep it there to remind me of one really important thing. To remind me of the people I work for. To remind me that my job, to remind me come on, let's be respectful of democracy, and let's be respectful of the kids at this Boys and Girls Club. This is not okay. It is not okay to disrupt Canadian democracy. And I want to tell everyone, I am not afraid, and I'm not going to back down. And no one in this room is going to back down, And no one who stands with us across the country is going to back down. Canadians are just not going to put up with it. You can have a different point of view, but you cannot stop others from speaking, and you cannot stop our democracy. Okay? And I mean, come on. Who is going to interrupt saying a couple of nice things about the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club where we are right now? Really, who is going to stop us from saying a few words about the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club? Anyone here want to protest the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club? You have a chance, okay? Anyone here doesn't like the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club? Shout now. I'm inviting you. Shout. Tell me why you think it's a bad thing for kids here to have some lessons, to get some great meals, for this great community center to help the kids and families of this neighborhood that I represent. You want to yell about that? Do you want to yell about that? Okay. I didn't think so. You shouldn't. You should not be yelling and shouting down the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club. This is a great place. I am very glad to be here. I am glad to pay tribute to the parents, the teachers, and the kids who spend time here. I want to thank those kids again for the beautiful Canadian flag that they painted for me. They painted it for me because I'm their member of parliament. And I keep it in my office with pride, and also to remind me of something important. To remind me of the people I work for. To remind me of the people it's my job to serve. And so I know who I serve. I serve Canadians. I serve the kids and the teachers and the parents for whom this is such an important community center. And so I want us all to take a moment to give a big round of applause to my bosses, the kids and the teachers of the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club. Okay, so we're all agreed we love the St. Albans Boys and Girls Club. Yeah? Do we think it's great that kids can have a great time here, that they can learn, that they can get a great meal? Okay. And do we think it's important to have a democracy? And do we think it's important to state our position and defend our country? Yeah. And I think we all agree, it's okay to protest. It's good to protest. It's part of being Canadian. But it is not okay to stop others from speaking, right? Okay. Glad we've established that. So, my name is Chrystia Freeland. am running to be leader of the Liberal Party and the next Prime Minister of Canada. I am here to stand for Canadians and to fight for Canadians, and a little bit of banging is not going to get in my way. And it's not going to get in our way, is it, either? If you want to stand up to Donald Trump, and I'm going to do that, you can't let a little bit of noise bug you, can you? No, you sure can't, and we sure won't, right? Alors, je m'appelle Chrystia Freeland. Et je me présente pour devenir chef du Parti libéral et pour devenir la prochaine première ministre du Canada. Welcome to my neighborhood. To the community I have the privilege of representing in Parliament. Yeah. So many of you here are already my friends. Neighbors on Marlborough Avenue, teachers who taught my kids at the wonderful Cottingham Elementary School, parents of other kids from that school, terrific people who volunteer with Yvonne at the Avenue Road Food Bank on Wednesdays. And parishioners we've gotten to know at Church of the Messiah, just up the road. You're my friends, you're my neighbors, a lot of you are related to me. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to be supported by the people who know you the best. But for those of you I haven't met yet, here and across the country, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and about why I'm running to lead our amazing country. I am the very proud mother of 3 amazing kids. I really am the very proud mother of 3 amazing kids who put up with stuff like that. Not that often, but sometimes. And they hold their heads and they keep on going. And I'm so proud of you guys and so grateful to you. And I'm the wife for more than 26 years now. I was a child bride of a very amazing guy who a lot of you know, Graham. And while Toronto is now my home, I was born in Peace River, Alberta. A place in the rural parts of our country that Stéphane Lauzon spoke about so movingly. My dad's a farmer and a small-town lawyer, and my mother was a Ukrainian immigrant who arrived here with her family as a child. I owe so much to my parents. My dad hired men to help on the farm with seeding and at harvest, but he always insisted on taking the very earliest shift himself. My mother, who couldn't speak English on her first day of school in Canada, was one of just 7 women in her law school class at the University of Alberta. You learn a lot when you grow up in northern Alberta. You learn grit, you learn the value of hard work, and you learn the value of a real community. People in the Peace Country look out for each other. When it's 40 below, you don't have a lot of choice. My parents worked hard, and Freeland Farms grew and thrived, but they were never fancy. And so it was thanks to our great public schools, to my amazing teachers, to generous scholarships, that I had the chance to go away to university, to places I could have never aspired to reach without our country's help. And that changed my life forever. As I was finishing my studies, Soviet communism started to collapse. It was an incredible and inspiring time in the world. I traveled east to tell that story. I covered the fall of the Soviet Union, the rise of Putin, the oligarchs. I covered presidents, CEOs, and even a few plutocrats along the way. I had a great career, so much better than I could ever have imagined as a little girl in Peace River. But no matter where my reporting took me, Canada was always home. And I got really worried by what I saw Stephen Harper and Pierre Poilievre doing to our country. So in 2013, I took a really big risk. I quit my job, I packed up my 3 kids, and moved back to Canada to run for the Liberal Party. I ran first in a contested nomination, which I could have lost. Then in a by-election, which I could have lost too. I wasn't running then to be Prime Minister. I was running to be a member of Parliament, an MP for a party that was in 3rd place and being written off by many as on its way to extinction. I won, thanks to so many of the great Liberals in this room. Thank you for 2013. Thank you for everything we did then. Thank you for everything that we have been doing ever since. Thank you, Liberals in this community. You are amazing. When I did win, I proudly took up my seat in the farthest back corner of the House of Commons. Because when I did win, I proudly took up my seat in the farthest back corner of the House of Commons. Because I was there to serve you, my constituents, to fight for Canadians, and to help rebuild the Liberal Party. J'ai beaucoup appris quand j'étais députée d'opposition. J'ai rencontré des Canadiennes et des Canadiens de 4 coins de notre pays, dont au Québec. J'ai amélioré mon français, une grande priorité pour moi et pour nous tous. Surtout aujourd'hui. And I can promise you all, whether I win or lose this race, I am running in the next federal election. I hope we're all ready to put up some lawn signs. I know Paul's already working on it. Every other leadership contender needs to make that same commitment. Because in the coming election, the Liberal Party will need all hands on deck. Je vous le promets, que je gagne cette course ou non, je vais me présenter aux prochaines élections fédérales. Tous les autres candidats à la chefferie devraient prendre le même engagement. Dans les prochaines élections, tout le monde devra mettre la main à la pâte. In 2015, I moved from the backbenches into government. As trade minister, I delivered a trade deal with the European Union, more valuable today. I did, and that deal is more valuable today than ever. As foreign minister, I stood up to Donald Trump. I led the fight to save NAFTA and Canadian jobs, even when the Conservatives wanted me to back down. Et lorsque Donald Trump a imposé des tarifs illégaux sur l'acier et l'aluminium canadien, je nous ai défendus et nous avons encore gagné. En tant que vice-première ministre, j'ai dirigé la réponse du Canada face à la pandémie en aidant les Canadiennes et Canadiens, ainsi que les entreprises canadiennes, au moment où ils en avaient le plus besoin. As Finance Minister, I stabilized the economy during the COVID recession. We brought inflation and interest rates down more effectively than any other country in the G7. And 50 years after Canadian women first started the fight, and thanks to the leadership of pioneering women in Quebec, I am so glad to have finally brought in $10 a day daycare across the country. Donc, un gros merci aux féministes québécoises. These are accomplishments I'm proud of. These are accomplishments all Liberals should be proud of. But as a party, we need to recognize that today, Canadians want and need us to relentlessly focus on one thing: the economy. Canadians want good jobs, homes they can afford, and great care for their kids. They want a government that is as careful with Canada's money as Canadians are with their own. These bread and butter issues are more important today than ever because our country is facing what could well be an existential threat. Tomorrow, Donald Trump will be inaugurated as President of the United States. He has threatened to hit Canada with 25% tariffs on everything we sell to the US. He wants to steal our jobs and drive away investment. He has spoken clearly and repeatedly about making our Canada the 51st state. Yeah, and he's threatened to use economic coercion to do so. Yeah, that is absolutely right. We do have to stop him, and we will. So here's my promise. If you choose me to become leader of the Liberal Party and Prime Minister, I will lead a true Canadian response to the threat we now face. We will be united we will be strong, we will be smart, and that's why we will win. We will. Je vais rassembler chaque province et territoire, les dirigeantes d'entreprises et les travailleuses et travailleurs, les Canadiennes et les Canadiens de tous les milieux et de toutes convictions politiques. Je l'ai fait pour la renégociation. Je l'ai fait pour la renégociation de l'ALENA. Je l'ai fait pendant la pandémie. Et je vais le faire encore. I will unite every province and territory, business leaders and working people, and Canadians from every walk of life and of every political conviction. I did it during NAFTA. I did it during COVID. And I will do it again. This is the lesson of the peace country. When it's 40 below, every man is your friend, and you don't lock your cabin door. When we play as Team Canada, we win. Unity is the first step. Next, we need to recognize this is a time for Canada to be strong. So, I have a message today for President Trump. We are your neighbor and your most important trading partner. You export more to Canada than to China, Japan, the UK, and France combined. Canadians and Americans are friends. We're often family. We are allies. We have fought shoulder to shoulder in 2 world wars, in Korea, in Afghanistan. We won't pick a fight with you. We don't want a fight with you. But if the fight comes to our door, remember, we love our country just as much as you love yours. Canada is not for sale, and our sovereignty is not negotiable. Le Canada n'est pas à vendre et notre souveraineté n'est pas négociable. So, if you hit us, we will hit back. And I promise, if I'm Prime Minister, our response to illegal and unjustified tariffs will be dollar for dollar retaliation. If you force our hand, we will inflict the biggest trade blow that the United States has ever endured. Canada will not escalate. But if I am Prime Minister, Canada will never back down. Canada ne fera pas escalader la situation. Mais si je suis la Première ministre, le Canada ne reculera jamais. And then there's Pierre Poilievre. You know what the real problem with Pierre Poilievre is? It's not that he's mean. We know that. It's not that he's a career politician. We know that. It's not that he doesn't have a plan. We know that too. The real problem with Pierre Poilievre, he is weak. He's afraid to fight back against people he admires. Sure, he's happy to dunk on the Liberals on Twitter, but he will never stand up to Donald Trump. He can't even stand up to Danielle Smith. Make no mistake, if Pierre Poilievre is elected, he will be on the first flight to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring. He will bend down and sell us out. Laissez-moi vous dire quelque chose. Lorsque on a affaire à un intimidateur, la faiblesse est une provocation. Il y a une raison pour laquelle Donald Trump sait exactement qui je suis. Il y a une raison pour laquelle il ne m'aime pas beaucoup. C'est parce que la dernière fois qu'on s'est retrouvés face à face, je me suis battue pour le Canada. Et on a gagné. I have always fought for the things I believe in and for the people I care about. For my family, for your family, for Canada. As a student, I fought the KGB until they kicked me out of the Soviet Union. As foreign minister, I fought for Canadian jobs and Canadian businesses. As finance minister, I fought for Canadian families. And yes, as Deputy Prime Minister, I fought back against the Prime Minister when I knew the time had come to put our country first. We need a battle-tested leader with the scars to prove it. Because the stakes for our beloved country are just too damn high. Yeah, I've taken my share of slings and arrows over the years. And I am still standing. Because, you know what? I know how to fight, and I know how to win. On est tous très chanceux. On vit dans le meilleur pays du monde. Un pays où on travaille fort et où on s'occupe de nos voisins, où, quelle que soit votre langue, votre apparence, la personne que vous aimez, vos croyances ou l'endroit où vous êtes né, chaque jour représente une nouvelle opportunité. Un pays fièrement bilingue. Qui s'étend sur près de 10 millions de kilomètres carrés et dont la diversité est sans précédent. Un pays qui est resté uni malgré les guerres mondiales et les guerres commerciales, les crises d'unité et une pandémie mondiale. Un pays uni qui n'a jamais connu un défi si grand qu'il ne pouvait surmonter. Que ce soit face à Donald Trump, dans la lutte contre les changements climatiques, ou la défense de la langue française, c'est un privilège de me battre pour notre pays. De me battre pour les Canadiennes et les Canadiens. De me battre pour le Canada. Aujourd'hui, nous demandons l'aide de chacun d'entre vous, chaque libéral à travers le pays. Nous avons besoin de votre aide pour faire des appels, pour frapper aux portes, pour parler à vos amis, à votre famille et à vos voisins, pour leur montrer que nous sommes le parti Qui est prêt à se battre pour les Canadiennes et les Canadiens? Qui est prêt à se battre pour le Canada? We are all so lucky. We live in the greatest country in the world. A country where we work hard and where we look after our neighbors. A country where no matter what language you speak, or what you look like, or who you love, or what you believe in, or where you were born, every day represents a new opportunity. A proudly bilingual country. Spread across nearly 10 million square kilometers, unprecedented in its diversity, which has stayed together through world wars and trade wars, through unity crises and a global pandemic, and a country that has never met a challenge greater than our united Canadian spirit. What a gift it is to call our incredible country home. And at this critical moment, what a privilege it is to fight for it. To fight for Canadians. To fight for Canada. And so today, we are calling on each of you, on every Liberal, in every corner of our great country, to join our team. We need your help to make calls, to knock on doors, to talk to your friends and your family and your neighbors, to show them that we are the party that is ready to fight for them. The party that is ready to fight for you. That is ready to fight for Canadians. And that is ready to fight for Canada. Is so great. That is so, so great. We are ready to fight, aren't we? And so, with your help, we are going to fight. And we are going to win. Because we're Canadian. That's right, because we're Canadian, and we're so proud to be Canadian. The true north, strong and free. We are so proud to be Canadian. And because we're Canadian, and we know that when we are united, nothing and no one can stop us. Join us. Join the fight. Ensemble, nous pouvons y arriver. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very, very much. We're only getting started.
We'll take some questions from media now. Nous allons maintenant prendre des questions des médias.
Hi, Ms. Freeland. Mackenzie Gray with Global News. Hoping you can answer this in both English and French. Folks close to you have told us that if you become PM, you plan to scrap the carbon tax and replace it with something else. But as early or as most recently as December 9th, you extolled the virtues of both the carbon tax and the rebate. So can you tell us over the past 41 days what has changed in your thinking that the carbon tax is not the right thing to go forward with?
Thanks for the question, Mackenzie. And the time has come for us as a government, as a country, to do two things. I think we all know we have to fight against climate change. We all get that. We need to do it for our kids. We need to do it for the planet. Liberals believe in that, and that is a fight that has to continue. But it is also the case that we need to get better at listening to Canadians and at listening to what Canadians are telling us. And we have heard very clearly from Canadians in provinces where there is a consumer-facing price on carbon that they don't like it. That's something that we have to listen to. Democracy means when people tell you something, you have to listen. And I will say, our party hasn't been good enough at that. That has to change, and I am going to change that. Merci pour la question. Alors, la lutte contre les changements climatiques est tellement importante. On doit continuer avec cela pour notre planète, pour nos enfants et petits-enfants, et aussi pour notre économie. C'est essentiel. En même temps, c'est très important d'être à l'écoute aux Canadiens et Canadiennes. Et les Canadiens et Canadiennes, dans les provinces où il y a un tarif direct sur le carbone qui fasse directement aux consommateurs, qu'ils ne veulent pas. On doit être à l'écoute et on doit changer cela.
Ms. Freeland, Kamal Karamali here with CTV National News. Curious to know why you're boasting of it as an advantage that Donald Trump doesn't like you, especially between two key trading partners. Shouldn't you be getting along with them? And secondly, curious to know why you've limited questions to one per media outlet, especially when you haven't been available for such a long amount of time. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Look, Donald Trump doesn't like me for one simple reason. I have been fierce, resolute, and effective in defending Canada, in defending Canadians, and in defending the Canadian economy, in negotiations with the United States, in negotiations with his administration. He doesn't like that. He prefers pushovers. And I want to assure Canadians that I am up for the fight and I will be firm and resolute in the defense of the national interest. You want someone as leader of the Liberal Party and as Prime Minister who Donald Trump is afraid of.
Bonjour, Andréane Williams, Radio-Canada. Ma question...
Bon, est-ce que je peux répéter la réponse en français parce que je n'ai pas fait cela, je m'excuse. Alors, j'étais très claire que Donald Trump, qui sait qui je suis, et qu'il ne m'aime pas beaucoup. Et il ne m'aime pas beaucoup pour une bonne raison. Parce que j'ai défendu le Canada. J'ai défendu le Canada fermement et j'ai réussi. Et c'est ce que je vais faire encore une fois.
Andréane Williams, Radio-Canada. J'aimerais avoir votre réaction par rapport à la décision, à l'annonce aujourd'hui de Mélanie Joly de soutenir Mark Carney. Est-ce que ce n'est pas un pied de nez qu'elle vous fait aujourd'hui, le jour de du lancement de votre campagne?
Je respecte Madame Joly beaucoup. Pour moi, le Québec, la langue française, l'identité distincte, la nation québécoise seront au cœur de ma campagne. C'est pourquoi j'ai commencé ma campagne au Québec. C'est pourquoi le premier entrevue que j'ai donné était en français. Parce que je sais l'importance du français, je sais l'importance d'identité québécoise et je dois dire encore une chose. Je sais qu'aujourd'hui, la langue française, l'identité du Québec sont menacées comme jamais. La menace que Trump pose au Canada, c'est aussi une menace qui s'est posée au Québec. Je sais très bien que les Québécois et Québécoises ne veulent pas devenir le 51e État des États-Unis. Et je suis ici pour défendre le Québec, défendre la langue française, défendre l'identité distincte du Québec, défendre le bilinguisme de notre merveilleux pays. Et je suis tellement contente que plusieurs députés du Québec, incluant Stéphane Lauzon, le chef du caucus du Québec, est ici avec moi.
Ms. Freeland, thank you for taking my question. Ahmed El-Bayoumi with Polycorner, and I do hope moving forward we can have more opportunities to ask questions.
And if you'll excuse the technical difficulty, we just lost the signal to Toronto as we've been listening to Chrystia Freeland, former Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister, officially kicking off her campaign to be the next Liberal leader. We have the signal back. We're back to Toronto.
For Israel's military operations in Gaza. We haven't seen this at any other campaign launch, not at Ms. Gould, not at Mr. Carney's. Why do you think you're being singled out by these protesters? And is there anything of substance that you can say to their concerns about the government's response to the war?
thank you for the question. I do want to say I am really grateful that we live in a democracy. I am really grateful that we live in a country where everyone can express their view and where everyone has the right to protest. That is an amazing thing about Canada, and it's really important that people can disagree with each other and that everyone can state their view. It's also the case that the right to protest doesn't include the right to disrupt other people's right to speech. That is also essential about Canada. We cannot allow protest doesn't mean drowning out other people's voices. That is entirely unacceptable. That is not how Canadian democracy works. And I know that Canadians are not going to stand for that, and neither will I. When it comes to the Middle East, let me just say I am cautiously optimistic about the ceasefire in Gaza. I think we all share that sense of cautious optimism. For me, and I think for all of us, what has happened has been absolutely heartbreaking. It has been awful to see the images, to hear the stories, to see the carnage. That is absolutely unacceptable. Canada has been calling for a ceasefire. I am cautiously optimistic about the ceasefire that has been announced. It is so important for people to stop dying, and it is so important to recognize the pain, the heartbreak, the tragedy.
Good afternoon, Rafi Wujikani on CBC News. Could you explain why your difference of opinion with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on the economy started when he wanted to change your job in cabinet? Why was this the catalyst for you to begin speaking out?
Because the difference didn't start then. For some time, I had been in disagreement with the Prime Minister, specifically over spending. Those disagreements got worse after President Trump threatened to impose 25% tariffs on our country. At that point, I realized that we faced what could be an existential threat, and I realized that we had to really focus all of our energies on being ready for that threat. We had to keep our fiscal firepower dry. I was very clear about that, and we saw the consequences. Durant longtemps, j'étais en désaccord avec le Premier ministre, surtout sur les dépenses. Et ce désaccord était devenu plus intense après l'élection du président Trump et après son annonce après son menace d'imposer les tarifs de 25% au Canada. À ce moment-là, j'ai compris que c'était une menace potentiellement existentielle en notre pays. À un moment qu'on fait face à une menace existentielle, on ne pourra pas se permettre des dépenses électoralistes. J'étais claire concernant cela et on a vu les résultats.
Hi, Vipal Manga from the Wall Street Journal. You talked about the importance of unity taking on Trump in this trade war. What's your strategy for bringing Alberta online?
That is a really good question. And one of the things that I do think we need to do as a country is build a true Team Canada. You know, I know that Canada can win. I know that Canada has what it takes because we always have. But I do not minimize at all the threat we face. And the way we win, the way we won when we renegotiated NAFTA, the way we succeeded during COVID, was by building a true Team Canada approach. We have to do that again. Canada includes Alberta, and we do have to work hard with Alberta to get Alberta on side. I'm really ready and happy to do the work that it takes to do that. And I also want to say, I'm relying on the other premiers of the other provinces and territories. A true Team Canada effort means all of us have to work together, and that is work that I've done. I've shown that I can get along with Conservative premiers, with NDP premiers, and with Liberal premiers. I know it can be achieved. It's something we need to do, and I am prepared to roll up my sleeves and do it.
Une question en français. Il n'y a pas eu beaucoup de questions en français, Madame Freeland, Mylène Crête de la presse. J'aimerais savoir, vous avez signé plusieurs budgets à l'encre rouge comme ministre des Finances, pardon. Est-ce que vous engageriez à retourner à l'équilibre budgétaire dans une première année d'un premier mandat Freeland?
Pour moi, la responsabilité fiscale est très importante et c'était l'enjeu principal des désaccords entre moi et le Premier ministre. Concernant l'avenir, maintenant, on doit voir ce que le président Trump va faire et on doit construire notre politique autour de cela. On ne sait pas qu'est-ce qu'il va faire et on doit être prête à répondre. Moi, je suis prête à répondre. Je suis prête à défendre le Canada face à la menace du président Trump. Je sais comment on doit le faire. On doit être unis, on doit être forte et on doit être intelligente. So fiscal responsibility is important to me. It was one of the principal, really the principal reason for my disagreement at the end with the Prime Minister. Right now, and it was really important at the time because we needed to keep our firepower dry to be ready for the threat that President Trump poses. Now, we need to see what's going to happen. We need to be ready to stand up and to defend Canada from this threat. I know we can do it, and I know how to do it. We need to be strong. We need to be smart, and we need to be united, and that is something we can do. Thank you very much.